Welcome into the Lounge, presented by DraftKings. I'm Ryan Mink here with Garrett Downing, and we're thrilled to sit down with cornerback Nate Wiggins. And Nate, you joined us in the summer for an episode of the Lounge, and we started out talking about your box celebration, right? And how we are so pumped for that, and it's our favorite celebration on the team.
We spent like 10 minutes talking about this thing.
A little while. And I'm not going to lie to you, Nate. You haven't done, even though you've been boxing people up, you haven't been doing the box celebration as much as I would have liked.
Yeah.
Why haven't you been boxing?
I've been catching more pitch this year, so you feel me? I ain't been getting enough pad deflections to do it. So I only do it. It got to be a big play, big pass deflection. I don't do it after everyone. So,
but what about it? You don't do it after a pick?
Nah.
So it's only the PBU.
Yeah. Like, because at the pick, I don't really box you up. I caught the ball.
Right.
Like, at PBU, I box you up so you can't catch it. So, it's gotta make sense.
I did notice during intros, you do the thumbs down, though.
Yeah.
What about the thumbs down? I don't feel like you're doing that as much this year either.
I think this year, I'm in, like, I'm in my own mode. Just whatever comes to my head, I do it. So, but people know, like, everybody knows still the thumbs down. I still the box, man. So
we see teammates do it sometimes. I feel like I've seen Kyle do it. I've seen different guys do it. So it's spreading.
Yeah.
Right. So I remember you also talked about you kind of predicted that you wanted more takeaways this year.
Yeah.
You're getting more takeaways this year. I mean, that just has to be really gratifying for you. And why do you think that's been the case?
Probably just study habits, working hard, practice. And just really focusing on the ball more. I feel like last year it was just fast moving, fast pace. I'm just trying to get to the end zone this year. I'm just trying to worry about catching the ball and yeah.
What has changed with your study habits? Is that, like, take me through your process. Is it the work that you're doing either in the classroom here and the time you're spending with the coaches? Is it your teammates? Is it at home? Like, how has that changed and evolved?
I ain't gonna lie. One person, shout out to my boy Cheeto. He really like helped me like take notes, look at film differently. So Cheeto, he had a big part in my study habits.
Oh, that's interesting. So like, what did he kind of recommend? Like, how did he suggest that you should take notes differently than what you were doing before?
Just separate my notes. So like quick game, drop back, play action, just in separate order. So everything not bunched up on top of each other, and I know what's going on. So I can go to one section, everything there. On drop back, I can go to one session, everything there on play action. So,
and so when you're out there on the field, how often are you referencing? Do you reference that stuff? You're like, okay, I'm expecting this is going to be drop back for them.
Oh yeah, certain formations and certain tendencies the quarterback do. Oh yeah.
So you're referencing those notes mentally.
Yeah,
that's interesting. And can you talk about just kind of outside of the notes, the veteran kind of leadership that Cheeto has brought, because a lot of fans aren't familiar with him. It's his first year here. Tell fans about Cheeto.
Oh yeah, Cheeto. That's another man in the DB room. Just our DB room, like, we got many personalities, but I feel like he stick out. He just one of the veteran president room. He stick out. Very outspoken. You gonna know he in the room. He always want to play. So I feel like he definitely being a spark to the room. You gonna know he's in the room. He very smart. Very high IQ. So he bring a lot to the table to the room.
You mentioned his intelligence. That's something that stands out to me. Like, he's a guy that's seen it. He's been in the league for a while, so he's seen a lot. We had him mic'd up on Ravens Wired recently. And in that game, you could see him calling stuff out before the play. Watch the slant, watch the deep ball, that type of stuff. Has that also translated, and what's the impact of that actually within the game?
Oh yeah. So like in the game, like you said, he telling us the formations. He just very like how could I say it? Like very into it, like information wise, the concept wise of the game. So like you said, he's seen it all. Like 9th season in the league, so he's seen it all, and it helped us a lot.
Right. It feels like for you this season, like you become that dude, like that. I think we all anticipated when the Ravens drafted you last year, and as a rookie, we saw that growth, that rapid growth, and once you got more time and all that stuff, and coming into your second year, we're like, coach has even said it, like, we think Nate can be one of the top corners in this game. Do you feel that? How do you feel differently in year two versus when you're a rookie?
I feel like I ain't even at my best yet right now. I feel like I'm still like growing. I know a lot of people might think like I feel like my season is decent right now. I feel like I can be better at some places. So that's really what I'm striving at, to be better for. I know I can be way better, but I know I definitely get confident in myself though. I feel like a lot of people know I'm confident in me, and I feel like I can outcompete anybody on the field. So yeah.
Where does your confidence come from? Because like it's apparent. It's apparent on the practice field. It's apparent when you have conversations. Like you want the challenge of going up against top guys. Like where does that confidence within you come from?
Probably my mom. She just always been on me 24/7. She ain't never let me back down for no challenge. So I feel like that's probably her, and my dad just been on me since I was a kid, and just. Me, I always used to play up in sports. I ain't never played with my age group, so I'm always playing with older folks. So that's probably where it come from.
Can you give us
your mom? I'm curious about your mom as challenging you. Like, is there an example of either as you were a kid or in high school where she was really challenging?
I didn't want to play football at first, and she threw me to on the football field and told my coach like he not leaving. Yeah,
that's hilarious.
And she just felt like you. She just felt like you were gonna like it, or she felt like you were a good fit. Like, what was it that made her want to do that?
Because I told her I want to play football, and she, like once I told her I do something, she would never let me quit. So once I was out there, it was like, this is what you said you want to do, so you got to stick to it. So
did you get hit or something? You're like, nah, I'm done. And she's like, no, you're not.
I think I played running back my first year.
Okay,
I got hit, and I tried to walk out the field. Yeah, she wasn't going for it. She wasn't going for it. So yeah, I feel like from that day forward, I always took the approach like, I ain't backing out from that. I got to finish what I want to.
Well, I'm curious about that because like you're a smaller, leaner guy. You're a leaner guy.
Yeah.
And when you talk about not backing down, like I remember when the Ravens drafted you, and that was part of the draft summary. And we've talked about that before. But one thing that stood out to me from the very first time that you've been here is on the field, like you don't play scared. Like you're not afraid to go in there and throw your shoulder in there, and bigger running back or bigger tight end. Like you don't back down from throwing your nose in the pile. Is that part of what your mom has instilled in you? And is that just the way that you approach the game?
Yeah, I just feel like, we all put our clothes on together. So I don't feel like, nothing to be scared of. And they human, I'm human. He brushed his teeth like I brush my teeth. So, he ain't no superhero. I ain't no superhero, so.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever seen those videos where like the kid has to tackle the mom or the mom has to tackle the kid? I'm like imagining that with you and your mom now.
Oh yeah, I don't know what I'll do in that moment. I don't know what I'll do. My mom a competitor, so she probably gonna bring it to me too. So
she's gonna lower the shoulder.
Yeah, she's gonna lower the shoulder. So I can't let my mom rub me over.
She's not gonna take it easy on you.
So going against the Bengals this week, obviously there's gonna be a lot of talk about Jamar Chase and whatnot, and you've gone up against him now, multiple times. How tough of a cover is he? And I know like you just got done saying, these guys aren't superheroes, whatever. He puts his pants on one leg at a time just like you.
Yeah.
But take us inside his game. What makes him tough to cover?
He just physical. He got all the traits. He can catch and run, he can catch the ball, catch in traffic, he can get open. So he just got all the traits that receiver want for real. So that's what make him a very special player.
And as Garrett was saying, you've gone up to coaches this year even and said, I want the guy, right? And take us inside how that works? Like, is that you just a knock on the door in their office and like, take us inside that conversation?
It's probably, like say it's Monday, I see who we got on the board and I text Coach Pagano like, what's the plan for this week? Like, I don't really think I got to say too much. I just asked him, what's the plan for this week? And he tell me, like, you want him or they moved. The number one guy moved too much, so we just going to have y'all play side. So
interesting. Gotcha. So if the number one guy doesn't move that much, then it's like an opportunity basically for you to be like,
yeah,
that's who I want.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And the first, correct me if I'm wrong here, but I think was the first time where you ended up doing that, was that against the Rams going up against Davante Adams?
Yeah, that was the first time, yeah.
And so Davante Adams, this guy's probably going to have a gold jacket one day. What was your mentality going into that game knowing like, hey, this is the assignment that I want?
Oh, yeah, that probably I was focused that week. I was locked in, just knowing, like you said, you Hall of Fame receiver, one of the best to ever do it. So I was up for the challenge that week.
And this, you did this at Clemson too, didn't you? Tell Dabo like I want the number one guy there too.
Yeah.
And what is it about that challenge of going up against the clear number one receiver on the other side that like really gets you excited going into a game?
Just because I feel like people say I'm the guy. So people always say if you want to be the guy, you gotta go against the guy. So yeah.
So you said, you were really up for the challenge that week. What does that look like? Like when you have one of these elite receivers coming into town, is it just more time in your playbook? What does that look like for you to get up to that challenge?
More studying, just studying what he do, what he don't like, studying what I can take advantage of in the game. There's a lot of stuff going. Just receiver like him because he does so much stuff.
Yeah.
He can release, he can separate. It's
interesting. And you said that you look at your season this year and you're like, it could be better. Where do you look at it and say, hey, this is still where I want to grow?
Just full game. Just locking in the full game. Mm-hmm. I feel like some games I probably get relaxed a little bit. So just finish not the game.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Something you've said many times since you've been here is like they drafted me in the first round for a reason.
Yeah.
How much does that being a first round pick follows you for the rest of your career?
Yeah.
And so how much does that like badge carry weight with you of knowing like they took me in the first round, I need to play to this level, I need to live up to this expectation? Like how much do you carry that with you?
I carry it a lot. It's just like you said, they expect me to do something, so that's what I gotta live up to. They ain't draft me just not to live up to a challenge. So when they called me, they said they expect me to guard the best receiver. So that's what I'm living up to.
Mm-hmm. How much when you get the ball in your hands, taking it back to the house, like how much is that? I see you shaking your head. You had a couple of them right there.
Yeah, man. I cherish that. I'm like I'm so mad I couldn't take two bad that I had, but now like that's what I cherish. Like just getting the ball in my hands and getting in the end zone. Like I cherish that.
It's the running back in you.
Yeah,
it's still in there.
Yeah, it's still in there. It's still in there. I be trying to tell folks they getting on me right now because I got caught by a lineman, but once I get it, I'm gonna redeem myself.
That was with the Browns one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he had an angle.
Yeah, that's why I be trying down. It's all good.
They don't want to hear excuses,
it's all good, yeah.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Like, it's funny because you come up with a pick in that game, for example, and then you come up with this big play and you get down there inside the red zone. But if you don't get in the end zone, then you come off the bench, you're all hyped up, you're excited for the pick. But then everyone just like clowns you for not getting into the end zone. Like, what's up with that?
Yeah, that was crazy. That was a crazy moment right there.
Wasn't it Cheeto? Who was it? Didn't somebody like jump on your back?
Yeah, Cheeto, man. Cheeto. I told you, he a lot of energy, man. He got a lot of energy. You gonna know he in the room.
He seems like an alpha, and he is having fun. But like different vibes from Marlon. Like
totally different people, but
right.
I feel like they totally different people, but they act the same in some ways.
Right. I'm kind of curious. All right, so we were talking about all the first round picks on this team and in this secondary. So kind of break it down for listeners quickly. Like if you were going to describe these guys, let's go with the first rounders. How would you do it briefly? Marlon. I know I started with the toughest one.
Yeah. Crazy.
Okay, Kyle.
Laid back.
Okay, Malachi.
What word I can use? Malachi. Passionate. I can say passionate.
Passionate.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll end with yourself.
Me, I'm just a one-on-one, man.
You're just one-on-one. You're just Nate.
I'm just Nate. Like, I'm just. I don't even know. I'm just Nate. You know?
Well, Nate. So you got 4 games left here in the regular season, and obviously there's an understanding of where you guys are, not where you want to be, but you still have an opportunity here with a month left in the regular season. How would you describe the conversations and the mindset going into this stretch here?
We know we control our own destiny for real. We know what we got to do. I don't think nobody don't know. So We got to go win. That's the plan. Just win. I mean, whatever we can do, just get a win.
Mm-hmm. And how do you keep like all the noise and it's easy to look towards the end and say, okay, well, we need to win all 4 of these games, and we need to do this, and here's what the standings say. Like, it's easy to get caught up in all that stuff. Yeah. How do you, while understanding all that, how do you prevent that from like overtaking your thought process going into a game where just take care of one play at a time and win that specific game?
Like you just said, just one day at a time, one play at a time. We know we can't fast forward life, so I mean, just take it one day at a time. We can get better each day. That's what we're gonna do. So get better each day, and when Sundays come, lay it out on the line.
That's awesome.
Can't wait.
And lastly, one thing I did want to mention or ask you about is your community work. That's something that seems like it's really been a passionate area for you. You had. You wore My Cause, My Cleats this year, and you have your Wiggins Worldwide Foundation. Tell us a little bit about the work you do in the community.
Oh, yeah, I do a lot of work in the community in Atlanta and Baltimore. It's just my pride, just coming from where I come from. I know I ain't have a lot growing up, so I know how I feel just to come from over there in Atlanta. So I just love to get back from the people who come from where I come from. And I know Baltimore, a hard city, so it remind me where I came from in Atlanta. So I just try to get back because I already know like how hard it is.
It's great.
Do you and Kyle bond as Atlanta guys?
Yeah.
Is there a special kind of connection there?
That's my dog right there. That's my dog right there. That's
awesome. All right, man. Well, we look forward to a lot of
even more of the celebrations.
Let's want to do the pick.
Just because y'all just said it, I'm gonna get y'all some.
There we go. We're gonna think about that. Yeah, I love it.
Awesome. All right.
Thank you.
You're listening to the Lounge Podcast. We're coming to you from the SeatGeek studio. We want to mention our partners at DraftKings Sportsbook. They are an official sports betting partner of the Baltimore Ravens. DraftKings Sportsbook, the crown is yours. Thanks to Nate. I always enjoy talking with him. He's a fun guy who's playing really well. And it's kind of cool that we had the conversation with him back in the spring, and a lot of the things that we talked about have come to fruition. Like he's taken a big step this year. He's somebody that I think really deserves Pro Bowl consideration. Pro Bowl voting is open now. You can vote for that on Twitter. You can vote for that at NFL.com/Pro Bowl. But I definitely think he's somebody on this team that deserves your Pro Bowl votes. So go ahead and get those votes cast.
Yeah. And like he said, I think that there's such a high ceiling for Nate Wiggins. He's an extremely talented guy. And, and even he kind of said, like, sometimes he just kind of has like these lapses is probably the right word. And so when he gets that ironed out, look out. Also, I think it's really interesting that he's learning how to kind of study the game better from Cheeto, and that was interesting insight. So I look forward to what's to come the rest of the season, and also what's to come in the years following for Nate Wiggins.
Look, the Ravens need him to play really good football this week. They're going up against a great offense in the Cincinnati Bengals with Joe Burrow back to himself playing at such a high level, and Jamar Chase, who's probably the best receiver in football.
Yeah.
And when they matched up earlier this season, it wasn't like Wiggins was not just following him and trailing him the entire game, but
because he moves all over the place.
Exactly. However, there's also plenty of snaps where he is matched up against Jamar Chase versus Nate Wiggins. Like we see that matchup plenty of times, and Chase won some of them last time. Nate won some of them last time, and the Ravens need him to really play at a high level in this game and the rest of the way if they're going to be a team that can beat the Bengals and then go on a run here to get into the postseason.
Well, I think it remains to be seen how much the Bengals kind of have the same strategy that the Pittsburgh Steelers used against the Ravens, which is to take these shots outside the numbers, down the sideline, throw some of these bombs. I thought the Ravens did a good job, especially early on in that first game against the Bengals, of really playing kind of top-down defense and forcing Joe Burrow to get the ball out and go on shorter, with shorter passes. The Steelers said, we're not even going to mess with Kyle Hamilton and all that stuff over the middle of the field. We're just taking shots.
Yeah.
We all have seen that from Joe Burrow in this Bengals offense all too much over the years. The Ravens surely know what the Bengals are capable of. So I think it's going to be kind of a good-on-good matchup here. The Ravens are going to be prepared for it, but that's what the Bengals like to do. So we'll see.
If you go to the Steelers game with DK Metcalf, especially, right on that first series was DK against Marlon Humphrey. Those big shots didn't come against Nate.
That's correct.
One was against Cheeto. on a key third down, and then there was the big plays to DK Metcalf on that first drive came against Marlin. Nate's got the speed to run with anybody, and so like that's a tough matchup for a quarterback and a receiver to beat him on the deep shots because that's one of the things that he's best at.
Yep.
And so I wonder if they'll try Nate on that, or if they will look and try the other corners and try Cheeto and try Marlin and see how they hold up against some of those deep shots.
Yeah, that'll be part of this game plan, and it remains to be seen whether this is going to turn into a shootout. That was all the talk heading into the first matchup here just 2 weeks ago against the Bengals. Will it be that this week in Cincinnati? This is obviously a Bengals defense that is still struggling. They rank 32nd in the league in yards allowed per game, 32nd in rush defense, 31st in pass defense, 32nd in points allowed per game, 31.8. So they're at the bottom of the league in really every major defensive category. Once again, the Bills just carved them up last week in the snow, and Josh Allen had a huge day. So the Ravens offense, really, this is when you got to put it together. You have to. And because you have a tough time, you can contain, but you're going to have a tough time holding Joe Burrow and the Bengals offense completely at bay.
I think that this is definitely a situation where you want the offense to get rolling. And against them 2 weeks ago, there was 2 touchdowns that were, one was taken off the board. It was a long touchdown to Zay Flowers. He got called for push-off, OPI.
Which looked a whole lot like the DK Metcalf push-off.
Honestly,
look at those side by side.
Right. Like, when I look at that play, like Zay did extend his arm, and probably didn't need to. Yep. But I see that play happen like 8 times a game, it feels like, and not necessarily get called. But whatever. So that was taken off the board, and then there was the fumble by Isaiah Likely at the goal line.
Yeah.
And so you have 2 touchdowns basically come off the board, which really skewed the result of that game and the final score. With all that said, like I don't think a shootout is what the Ravens want to get into against the Bengals. Like the Bengals offense, for all the criticism of their defense and how low they rank, like their offense can still put up points in a big way. And the Ravens had 2 shootouts with them last season. The Ravens came out winning both of those. But I just don't think that's the type of game you want to get into, especially with the way the offense has struggled for the Ravens and putting up points in the red zone. Like I just don't think you want to get into a shootout matchup. I don't think the way that the Ravens are built this year.
I don't think they want to either, for sure. Yeah,
but it could be.
But it could be.
But I mean, have to be prepared. If they're scoring,
I'm just going to say, like, you have to be prepared to put up some points against the Bengals. So you probably have to take a pretty aggressive stance offensively. And I think to your earlier point, a lot of this is going to come down to the red zone. That's been the Ravens' bugaboo. It's certainly high up on the list for this offense. And if they could be efficient and score touchdowns against the Bengals, the Ravens offense can put up numbers too. They can put up points, but that's a big if because that's been a struggle really all year. It's been difficult to pinpoint why, but if they can get over that hump in the red zone, I think things can change pretty quickly for this offense because I do believe that the past couple weeks and really in the second half against Pittsburgh, this team is starting to move the ball more efficiently. I think the ground game certainly was very good against the Steelers. If you can continue that this week against the Bengals, that'll be a big deal.
Yep.
And so I think that this offense, as much as we've all been surprised that it hasn't clicked like it did last year, for sure, I think that there are some signs that it's starting to kind of put some things together. It feels like there's some positive momentum there.
Yeah.
They're not finishing plays. They're not finishing in the red zone. The Isaiah Likely, touchdown that wasn't, the push off by Zay, the fumble at the goal line, like all this stuff. They're not finishing some of these plays, but like they're there.
They're literally as close as you can get.
Yes.
Like those are as close as you can get moments.
Yeah.
And you need to finish those plays. I'm not like discounting that, but you're as close as you can get. A note for the Bengals too is that it looks like T. Higgins is unlikely to play in this game in concussion protocol. He missed the Thanksgiving game. That's a significant blow to that offense because he's such a dynamic player. It allows you to shade a little bit more over the top to Jamar Chase.
He missed the first game also.
Yeah, exactly. He hasn't played against the Ravens this year, so you can put even more attention on Jamar Chase and trying to slow him down, which I would expect the Ravens to do. So that would be a pretty big blow for them if he is not able to play.
Right. Ravens health-wise, Lamar Jackson did not practice on Wednesday, and that's the 5th straight week where he did not have a full week of practice. How much that's affecting his performances, who knows? You can't really say. John Harbaugh did say it was not injury-related. It was a rest day for Lamar Jackson, so this is kind of like the approach that they've been taking to get him as healthy as he can be for preparing for games and playing in games. So there's that. There's also Tavius Robinson did say in the locker room Wednesday that he anticipates playing against the Bengals and making his return from his foot injury, which he suffered way back in that Rams game before the winning streak. That was back. The Ravens fell to 1-5, and that loss in the Rams game. Storm back, and now Tavius is here to kind of stem the tide in a 2-game losing streak and turn things around, going on a winning streak here in December. So that's big for this defensive front, especially a big physical guy like Tavius. And he was getting after the quarterback a little bit too. When he went down, he was leading the team in sacks.
Yeah.
And so that, if that comes to fruition, as he said he anticipates playing, that would be a big deal.
Yeah, Tavius Robinson is a starter on this defense. He's like one of the team's best outside linebackers, rugged player. He's good against the run, can set the edge.
He and Draymond now together partner those guys up. Woo.
Yeah. That you have some power.
Yes.
On that defensive front, and I like him as a player. And he said that it was really tough to. He said it was even tough to watch the games just as a observer. When he first went down with that injury, it was kind of painful. But at this point, he's really not even thinking about the foot. So it seems like he's fully bounced back from that, and hopefully he is able to make his return. The other guy is our Darius Washington.
Yep.
And he went down with a torn Achilles this spring, and a lot of people felt like that was going to be it for him. But he came back to practice last week, practiced fully on Friday. And John Harbaugh said even last week there was a chance that he was going to be available for the Steelers game. Did not play in that game, but now there's even a better chance that he's going to be able to play in this game against the Bengals. The question on him is like, what's the role look like? Because the Ravens have a lot of pieces in the secondary. They have a nice setup right now with Marlon Humphrey playing a lot of snaps in the slot, with Kyle Hamilton moving all over the place.
Well, Marlon's playing a lot outside too.
Yeah.
So...
Marlon plays inside and outside, but he plays a lot of nickel. And then you have Nate Wiggins, who obviously we just talked about, Cheeto as well, and then Alohi Gilman and Malachi Starks on the back end. So, like, where does our Darius fit into that? I don't know exactly, but he's another good player to add to the equation.
Yeah, I think he could play some in the slot, and I wouldn't anticipate a guy coming back from Achilles in his first game back to sit there and play 80% of the snaps or something, especially in this defense with as many players as you're talking about. And so, I think that they could find him some snaps, find a role for him that could be playing safety, it could be playing nickel, wherever it is.
The other thing that's interesting, and this is maybe think about it when you talk about this game specifically for some of these guys coming back from injury, it's going to be frigid in Cincinnati. I mean, frigid, single digits, wind chill, high of like 14 degrees for this game. It is going to be brutally cold. And I think that that's going to have a factor in this game. Like once it gets, the Ravens haven't played in a really cold game like that this year. Like Sunday against the Steelers, it was
like
cold, but it was
December.
like sunny and it was pretty nice, to be honest.
Yeah.
Even Thanksgiving night, it was cold, but not that bad.
Right.
And this is going to be the coldest game they've played in all season. And I think that like when you reach those type of temperatures, that's the point where it's like, okay, now it's having an effect on the game. And what that effect is, I think we'll see. I don't think defenders like to tackle Derrick Henry in that type of weather. That's one element.
The first thing that flashes into my head is the clips from Derrick Henry versus the Steelers in the playoffs last year, where he's running through the defense and then he gets the end zone and he's like looks like a charging bull with like the steam coming out of his nose. You know, that's what I want to see.
Yeah.
The big dog running rampant.
Yeah. I thought you were going to keep going.
No, that's it.
Yeah.
Just the big dog running.
But no, I'm with you. But I think that like that weather is going to have an effect on this game.
Yeah.
Especially if it ends up being as cold as everybody's saying it's going to be.
Yep, I agree.
So we're excited about this matchup. The Ravens need it. This is as close to a must-win game as you can get. The Ravens are looking at it with 4 games left in the regular season, and the playoffs have begun for this team. They need to win. They control their own destiny, but as John Harbaugh made the point this week, yes, we control our own destiny, but that only matters if you win. If you don't win, you don't control anything. So the Ravens are focused on putting those wins together starting Sunday in Cincinnati. As always, we love to hear from you, so email us at the lounge at ravens.nfl.net. Thank you so much for watching and listening, and we'll talk with you again after that game against the Bengals.